Welcome to Monday Night Politics, and tonight we have two candidates running for Dallas County District Clerk. And we've had an invigorating kind of session, in all of the races that we've talked to tonight have been those that folk know about the races, but they don't really know what the people do for those seats. And so I don't think the Dallas County District Clerk escapes that either. So we have tonight with us Ms. Amy Thompson-Hollins, the challenger for the seat, and the incumbent, Ms. Felicia Petrie. Ms. Petrie, will you start with an opening statement for 2 minutes, please?
Good evening. I'm Felicia Petrie. I am the District Clerk for Dallas County. Thank you, Ms. Bell, for this opportunity. Thank you, Mr. O'Neill, for being here. The District Clerk is the custodian of records for the district courts. We maintain the records for all of the district courts. I also manage the passport office. So the district clerk serves as the record keeper. So when you file your records, you file those with my office. We have 3 passport offices that we're also responsible for. That's our best customer service that we have. We always receive numerous commendations for our customer service in that area. In the district clerk's office, I also host a Expunction Expo. The district clerk's office in Dallas County was the first in the state of Texas to host an Expunction Expo with our district attorney's office. So this year alone, we expunged 860 records. So when I say expunged, I mean we cleared their records. Those individuals that were eligible to have their records cleared, we were able to do that. That's a vast amount of work, but it's worth it. So it allows those individuals to start over. So I believe in second chances to get a job, to get housing, to get homes. During the pandemic, we had to shut down our passport office, but we opened up again with scheduling. So now you're able to schedule an appointment. So we're able to be in compliance with COVID guidelines and serve the public as well. And I also work with a Time Served project with the City of Dallas. So we're customer service oriented. I love my job. I'm great at what I do and look forward to another term. Thank you very much for your support.
Ms. Hollins, 2 minutes for an opening statement.
Good evening. Monday Night Politics, Dallas Examiner, Sister Belt, Brother O'Neill. Thank you for this forum. I have watched this forum for years, and this is my first time up on this stage presenting as a candidate, so I'm thankful and grateful that you have laid this stage for us. I am Amy Thompson-Hollins, your choice for change in the district clerk's office. Ms. Petrie failed to realize that we also do MAG court. That's our 24-hour operation. So we have to make sure that we understand criminal, juvenile, civil, tax, MAG court, and the opportunity to do passports and work with the Department of State. I'm a lifelong Democrat, educated in DISD, Bachelor of Science from Texas A&M University, Human Resources degree from the University of Dallas. I have over 15 years of relevant community service experience and 20 years of professional experience, customer service, human resource management, and labor relations, and experience in the district clerk's office. I'm running to place the district clerk's office under new management. So the people of Dallas County receive a more progressive leader who knows how to get production out of today's employees in order to help today's community. And as the former HR representative in the office understand, I have submitted to the elected official. I was in submission to the elected official as her employee. I had a great rapport with Ms. Petrie. She asked me to do something, I took care of it. When it was something that needed to be done that I couldn't take care of, I let her know. At every opportunity, if there was an issue, we talked about it. We talked several times a day, several times a week without fail. So make sure you understand that I stepped away to run. There's a difference between running away and running away to run. So I am your candidate for change, Amy Thompson-Hollins, Dallas County District Clerk candidate, your choice for change.
First question to you then, Ms.
Okie
Hollins,
dokie.
is you worked in the office,
Mm-hmm.
you decided that you would do something different. Tell us about what those things are.
Okay. So currently in the office, the elected official chooses to chronically not approve qualified, experienced, bilingual, and sometimes LGBT candidates for hire, deferring instead to friends and family. This leads to systematic, chronic staffing problems. Problems that existed before I arrived, problems that existed while I was there, and problems that likely exist right now. In this office, you'll find a handbook that is full of outdated, discriminatory language and prohibitions, punishments that are more harsh than the Dallas County Code. Understand the Dallas County Code. In this office, the elected official's responsibility is to approve the changes. Department soups, managers, HR, just like myself, can present candidates for recommendation, ideas for improvement plans, but if the elected official does not approve those, does not review or email, does not respond, those approvals will never be brought to fruition. And as far as I'm concerned, when it's time to hire, you use your trusted sources. You get people who, you hire someone to do the hiring as an HR manager should, and you should be able to trust that person to do that job. Unfortunately, that is not my experience. So I stepped away to run because we cannot allow the same kind of things to continue to happen just because there is an incumbent in office. This position comes available and vacant every 4 years. So I stepped out and chose to run. I challenged the code by filing a CTA on July the 30th. And on August the 5th, my future was freed up by the district clerk's office. I am now receiving unemployment, and I appreciate the opportunity to even do that, because once you have to be separated from a job, I have never been terminated, but once you have to be separated for a job for discriminatory practices, you have to begin to better yourself. Thank you.
Ms. Petrie? Any responses you may have, but clearly, HR can't be the function, it's not the function of the office. The office is providing another function. So if there are issues in HR, how will we address those?
The district clerk doesn't interview staff. That's the HR director's job. I'm well aware of magistrate court because there have been times when I've worked in magistrate court. So I haven't forgotten about it. I've worked in every aspect of the district clerk's office. Working as a clerk, working in e-filing, any of it. I have experience in doing it. I don't ask my staff to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself, and I know how to do that job. So I'm not discriminatory, and I don't think any of my staff would say that I am. I'm the first African-American woman to hold this position, and to say otherwise is very disingenuous. However, the district clerk's office, we're a diverse staff. I have a hardworking staff. We worked throughout the pandemic. It was not easy. Many uncertainties. We didn't know what to expect. However, they rallied around. My managers rallied, and we got the work done. Individuals weren't concerned about that. They wanted to file their paperwork, and they wanted it processed. So, and we did that. And we did the best we could with what we had. We were fortunate that many of my staff, we didn't have any tragedies to deal with. So I'm thankful and grateful for a hardworking team. We are public servants, and we're here to serve the public, and that's what we do. I am a public servant. Mr. Warren spoke about working late. I understand that. Sometimes it's a 7-day-a-week job. And that's what I do. So some issues Ms. Thompson addressed, I'm not going to address those issues. I'll talk about the things that I do.
So among those things, and it's a question from our viewers, will you implement a scheduling system that allows all litigants to schedule motions?
Will I implement what?
It says, that's the question, will you implement a scheduling system that allows litigants to schedule their motions?
There's 24-hour filing, so you don't have to schedule an appointment. You can simply just file.
Okay.
There's electronic filing if you choose to do that. There's Guide and File, which is on our website, and it walks you through the system on how to file electronically. Or you can file through the office. You can walk in and simply file. Some people get confused with filing, thinking if they send in an email, that's an electronic filing. Well, that does not meet the criteria. So you don't need an appointment to do that. Electronic filing is 24 hours.
So I'll ask you this question and then hand off to Ms. Hollins. Of all the changes, again, as we talked earlier today, all the changes that you have implemented in your office, what are the things that you would do to improve the functionality of the office?
Well, we work with the vendor, and the vendor just did a transition with their browser. So we went from Internet Explorer to a different browser. So we have some challenges with that. So we work with our vendor and our IT department on a daily basis trying to get it corrected. So that has been challenging lately, but we're working overtime to do it. And we have communicated with the judiciary and also with the legal community on the issues that we are experiencing. However, everyone understands what's happening. And it's not just with Dallas County, it's a statewide thing. So we are working on that. My staff, it's a little frustrating sometimes when you work all day sometimes and it seems like you haven't accomplished anything. But at the end of the day, we know that we've put in a full day, and we're working very hard to get it done. Right now, we're working on a criminal case management system. We're hoping to retire a 35-year-old operating system that we have. John and I are extremely proud of that. We just had a meeting today where we're both investing money for additional resources to get it done so that it will be implemented on time, on schedule. So we invest in those initiatives. So I'm extremely proud of that. I'm extremely proud of our digital process, digitizing our records, making technology a part of our platform.
Very good. Ms. Hollins, you mentioned human resources. What other areas that you would implement to improve the functioning of the office?
I think I understand the question, what other changes I would implement? Well, the main issue right now is staffing and the way hiring is done. Ms. Petrie did mention that, of course, the HR person is responsible for human resources issues like hiring. I was, as an employee, told, sit with the supervisors. Next week, I was told, don't sit with the supervisors. Go over to Frank Crowley and help. Don't go over to Frank Crowley and help. So the inconsistency in that as an HR leader was unbearable. You cannot get a lot done when there is not a level of trust or not a level of understanding that you have to put in the time, sit with the supervisors in order to go through candidates in close proximity so that they can receive a similar experience. The issues continue with staffing problems have led to backlogs and e-filing. Ms. Petrie did mention e-filing and the transition to a new system. The issue I'm having is that we can't continue to allow leaders to go into these positions when they have issues with foresight and delegating. I would say failed at delegating. They failed at implementing an annual process that takes place every year. When fees go into the system, that's an annual situation. So what I would do differently is have the foresight to communicate with IT in November or after the legislative session when the statutes change to make sure that on January 1 or this year, January 3, those fees are in the system so we won't have the backlog that we have today. Right now, there are 3,300 cases of backlog, 3,300 cases late to the judiciary impacting them. 3,300 cases, including families who are now impacted by this backlog. There are errors. So I would have more forethought, O'Neill, to make sure that there is not this kind of a backlog that we can kind of foresee because it happens almost annually. Thank you.
So, and I'll follow up with this question, and then you hand off to Ms. Petrie. So what are the things that contribute to this backlog besides pandemic?
Right. Well,
Private dockets?
Not necessarily the pandemic. I'd actually say that Ms. Petrie did a great job during the pandemic of managing the department. Of course, the input was a little bit lower because we were in a pandemic. Some of the things that were allowed, which were telecommuting, the opportunity for people to work from home, the opportunity for people to flex a little bit, their shifts actually worked. We had to social distance. As HR, I'm a professional. I have 2 degrees. I had 13 years of experience with airline industry and being able to telecommute. I have been mischaracterized as having taken a year off of work. And I appreciate this segue because I did not take a year off of work. My chief deputy at the time and Ms. Petrie approved my ability to stay home and stay safe thanks to Clay Jenkins. And I teleworked for the period of time that I need to until I got boosted and returned to work. During that time as well, I had a medical procedure. And if we're not gonna let Abbott up the street tell us what to do with our reproductive health, I'm not gonna let an elected official here mischaracterize use of my benefit as abuse. So understand teleworking occurred and it was very productive during the pandemic. But when we opened is when the issue occurred. There were things that we could have kept in place because we went from 3 laptops in the district clerk's office of one I had, right, to having more laptops so other people can be able to work from home. So we were very productive at that time. We were doing work. You can be in the office from 8 to 8 p.m. You can spend the night in the office, but if you're not a productive leader and manager, sometimes that time in the office is misspent. So a lot of times you have to shoo people out of your office so that you can get work done between the hours of 8 and 5. We should rest so that we can come back and fight. We should rest so we can come back and have tough discussions with the Commissioner's Court.
Thank you. Ms. Petrie, what are some of the things, again, that contribute to this backlog, and how will we address them going forward?
Well, the new system contributed to the backlog. Families, and it's not all just families that have been impacted. We have civil cases, family cases, juvenile cases, and criminal cases. So that's a total of all the cases. So I doubt if my opponent even knows what the e-filing system looks like. I don't think she's even been in the system. So apparently one of my staff members have informed her how many cases are in the e-filing system. But that's neither here nor there. We are working those. Our temporary protective orders are our priorities. So we make sure that we take care of those every day. Some things are out of our control. We cannot control what our third-party vendor is doing. All we can do is work our cases as best we can. And my staff has been working hard to do that. I appreciate all the work that they do. My managers work extremely hard. We work hard every day. It's easy to stand up and say what you would and would not do until you've done it yourself. I work those files. I understand the system. We have all the things in place that we do. Our IT department works extremely close with us. They always give us input on what we can do. It's changing every day. Every day we're implementing new things, new ideas, technologies change every day. And the district clerk's office and the county clerk's office, we're working together to make sure we keep up with those changes.
Ms. Hollins, how will this is a two-parter and then your closing statement. How will the office improve upon your election and your closing statement?
Okay, I'm sorry, the closing statement is included in this 2 minutes?
We'll give you, yes. Yes, ma'am.
The office will improve by being under new management. It will improve by being under a leader who stays in a leadership mode. in a management mode. Whether or not I have gone into the e-file system or can process an e-file is not relevant, because my goal as an elected official is to lead a department of 270 employees. I don't want to so quickly fall into being able to just stop what I need to do for leadership and begin to e-file. You don't want your elected official stuck in the e-file queue, clearing a backlog of 3,300 cases, staying up all night. You want your elected official to get a rest at night, come in and be ready to present to Commissioner's Court every other Tuesday until you get the things that your department needs. Under my leadership, I will petition and petition and petition the Commissioner's Court with the help of human resources, big human resources in Dallas County, to make sure I draw up the restructuring of positions in order to get my clerks every 10 cent that they can get, to do away with clerk 4s and clerks 5s, as Mr. Warren said he had done. Bring in people off the street to make sure that they can be hired at those entry-level positions. But to do that, you have to systematically move people up and elevate them and trust that they will be able to do a good job. If I lead, I will trust. I have a list of demands. From the people. The budget. We want the money where it should be on getting files accessible and restructuring of positions. I have a list of demands. The staff want a handbook that is relevant to what things look like today. We want to remove unimaginative, discriminatory language that oppresses and arrests the morale of the employees. The county leadership, we have a list of demands. The Commissioner's Court is not a place to just show up to present what you have on for the day, for your people to show up and see what you have on for the day. We want to go there to lobby for positions. I have a list of demands. The criminal attorneys and constituents demand that you make the probable cause
Ms. Hollins.
affidavits available. Family,
We got
attorneys, and
it. We got it cut. That's your closing statement.
my 2 minutes and the last one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Y'all
ma'am.
elect Amy Thompson Howard, your next choice, the best choice, the community's choice for change in the district clerk's office.
Thank you so much. Hand that to Ms. Petrie. Ms. Petrie, your closing statement. 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your time. Ms. Thompson doesn't understand the process. The commissioners, we have a budget. You present your budget in October, before October. October 1 is our budget year. You don't go on demand. You go with your budget. We have a budget analyst that approves your budget before time. So you can't just go and demand something. You work within your budget. We don't have any grade 4s. She was responsible for, and she'll tell you, Ms. Petrie wouldn't allow me to do it. I didn't have time to prepare something that was her responsibility. What I am responsible for is managing that department, making sure my staff is safe, making sure we're filing paperwork, making sure the judiciary is taken care of, making sure attorneys are taken care of, making sure we're providing customer service, making sure that people are comfortable when they come into the courthouse, making sure my staff is comfortable, making sure I have an open door policy where my staff can come and speak to me. I have served as 2 terms as district clerk, 16 years within the district clerk's office, served in every aspect of that office. I know it. I love my job. I love what I do, and I'm asking for your support one more time. I am honored to serve as your district clerk, and I appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you both. All right. Thank you. Okay. And that concludes our year of this week's Monday Night Politics. Thank you again, Ms. Belt, for the opportunity to serve as your moderator for our panelists tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week, and we've got fireworks scheduled for you, so please tune in Thank you so much for your attendance on Monday Night Politics.